Hello, everybody, and welcome. Said the wise one here. And today we have something very special for you. We got a brother that I found about 3 or 4 days ago, purely by accident. But with the first words out of his mouth, and I was captivated. And somehow he's able to just bend any dialogue into a story. And he's quite fascinating to listen to. Very good with words, probably because he was a rapper before. Anyway, he's a YouTuber who goes by the name of Your Guy Libs. And the name of his channel is Let's Talk About It. I reached out to Libs and I asked, is it possible for me to do a reaction video for one of his? And a matter of fact, he suggested the idea. So I thought, okay, that was okay. And he gave me his blessing. So thanks to him, we're able to give this video today. And this is a very special video. If you listen carefully and try to understand what's going on, it can help you move forward. It's actually very wise advice that he's giving. So listen carefully. I'm going to throw my little 2 cents worth in, and should be a pretty interesting video. So without further ado, I present to you Your Guy Libs.
I know when you look at people, you see them and you see a person. You see a body with flesh and blood. But the truth is we're not a body. We're spiritual beings living life through a body.
Couldn't be more realer than that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You heard what he just said. Let's go.
And in this world could be paradise. And it's really important to understand why it isn't paradise for you. Why are we living in a world that's closer to hell than paradise? The earth could be paradise. So why isn't it? I was told by an older gentleman, a senior, 80 years old, that it's very important to take time and reflect on the meaning of life. See, we weren't put here to be wage slaves, to work the way we work, and to always be chasing a goal. See, he told me, he said, it's important to know who you are and what motivates you. Knowing who you are, because we're not all the same. We might be the same in having a body, and we may all be spiritual beings living life through a body, but we didn't come from the same walks of life. So it's important to understand where you come from and what motivates you, and why is life not paradise for you, but it might be paradise for someone else.
Now what he's getting at right there, we're going into this rabbit hole pretty deep. But the thing is, you can give two people the same opportunity, and one of those persons will get more from the opportunity than the other. And that is a result of their mindset, which Libs is going to explain a little bit more about that, and I'll be throwing my 2 cents worth in there as well. Go ahead.
A lot of people, they say things like, man, I was born in a struggle. I was born poor. And they just accept that the way that their mother and father and their grandparents led them all the way up to who they are, and they're going to be similar. Like most people take up the same traits and the same characteristics of their parents.
Now that's true. We all learn what we have from our community who raised us. Your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your neighbors you had around you, whoever was around you. That is your community. And that's where you've got all of your characteristical traits from. Go ahead.
You know, whatever you grew up in is what you normally become. But it don't have to be that way. You see, there's a lot of people that will be considered an exception to the rule, and it's because they did something different. Like there's people that grew up in poverty, I'm talking about like in the ghetto, and they wind up being something other than what they grew up in.
That's right, because their mindset was totally different, and their motivation factor was, I don't want to wind up like everybody here. They had some kind of a deeper calling to be something else. You have to have that first, and then develop the mindset, and then these things are possible. Go ahead.
And everybody in their family could be the same. But this particular person, for some reason, they made it out, and they made it to be wealthy and educated themselves, and their parents didn't do that. I'm going to give you a better example. I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of high school in the 12th grade. Damn, man. You waited all the way into the 12th grade to quit school? Yeah, it's because I was afraid to be in the classroom next year with them ignorant 11th graders looking at me like I screwed up and laughing at me. I was too embarrassed because next year when you stay back, you're going to be in the same class as them 11th graders, right? That you was picking on, that you was, acting like you was the senior and acting like you was all that. You're going to have to be in the class with them. And I couldn't fathom that. And I knew that the rate that I was going, I was more than likely going to fail and stay back. So I quit, right? And my kid's mother, I ain't going to put her name out there, shout out, you know what I mean? But she's a high school dropout, right? She dropped out in the 10th grade, right? Now, you got a 10th grade dropout and you got a 12th grade dropout who had children together. And like I said, most people take on traits and characteristics and ways of their parents. Like if your parents smoked cigarettes all day and you sat around and watched that all your life, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be smoking cigarettes sometime in your life. You're probably going to be drinking alcohol sometime in your life. But I also said there's an exception to the rule. But before I get to that exception to the rule, it just dawned on me. I remember a young girl when I was growing up. I ain't going to say her name because I don't know where her lifestyle is at this point. But she was a very pretty young lady. And her mother used to smoke crack, right? And the neighborhood crack dealers would be serving her mom and trying to date her. You see what I'm saying? Everybody in the hood wanted her. She was fine, right? But later on, I don't know how it happened, but she wound up smoking crack with her mom. With her mom. And her whole life turned around and she was a crackhead. And her mom is junkies out there. That was very sad to see. So it's very common for people to take on traits, characteristics, and lifestyles of their parents. But see, the story of the two high school dropouts, me and my kid's mother, it wasn't like that. There was an exception to the rule. See, my daughter put herself through college, a 4-year university, not community college, and graduated with a degree.
Now there's a classic example for you. He said his baby mama or his wife, she dropped out in the 10th grade, and he said he dropped out in the 12th grade. And his daughter went on to be a college graduate. That's the classic example right there. Doesn't get any better than that. Go ahead.
And I'm like, damn. I'm on the outside looking in. Like, damn, you broke the chain. You broke the chain. And that's what I mean. Like, why isn't life paradise for you? It could be anything. Like, I used to listen to this Wu-Tang song, right? I forget which song it was, or it was just a skit on the album. And the dude was like, man, he said it ain't no heaven and hell. He said heaven is what you make it, and hell is what you go through, right? I was big on Wu-Tang Clan. They helped shape my mental a little bit growing up. And Mobb Deep had a song, and the hook was like, what do you believe in, heaven or hell? We don't believe in heaven because we living in hell. Now you see, I grew up off that and being motivated by shit like that, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. If you look at the circumstances in the neighborhood that I was living in and the things that was going on in my environment, I think it's kind of fair to say that it was hell. It couldn't have been heaven, right? Wrong. Because heaven and hell is in your mind.
Here we go. Now we're getting ready to go down this rabbit hole. You hear what he just said? Heaven and hell are all in your mind. And it's what you create. Whatever life you have or that you exist in, you create this. And if you want a different life, you have to change this, or as they say in that world, reprogram that subconscious mind. Go ahead.
It's in your mind. And you could be anything that you want to be. Just because you grew up in an environment that looks like hell, look at the exceptions to the rules. One of my homeboys, and I could say his name because he was in the NFL, Gary Stills. He from the same ratchet ass hood that I'm from, and he played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He ended his career playing for Baltimore Ravens. I think he got a damn Super Bowl ring. He was a second team player, so he wasn't a superstar, but he wasn't like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Troy Vincent played for the Philadelphia Eagles. From my hood. Samore, the comedian, from my hood. And it seemed like, damn, bro, the only way to make it out is through sports and entertainment. Might I add, Poor Righteous Teachers is from my hood, the rap group. Yeah, it might seem like the only way to make it out is sports and entertainment, but I'm sure there's some other people that are living pretty good lives that I'm not talking about because they're famous. It might be some people from that very same hood that wind up being a doctor or a lawyer, you know, who might be a high-ranking police officer somewhere. Maybe.
Or how about a high-profile boxer? A lot of them come from a very poor background too. Go ahead.
Be in another state that I don't know about. It's other ways, but what I'm saying is If you're wondering why you're living in a world that's closer to hell than paradise, it's probably because of the way you living your life and the way that you're thinking and the moves that you're making. You have to create your paradise.
There it is. I told you it was coming. He hit it right on the head. It's your fault. Whatever life you got around you can always be changed. The question is, are you willing to change it? Go ahead.
You have to create it, man. And sometimes that's hard to fathom for some folks because they don't know that they have to create it. They just accept what they see when they walk out into the world and they say, damn, this is my life. And they looking at their parents like, damn, this is what you brought me into. I put up a video called I Regret Bringing My Children Into the Struggle. And that was a real video. Go check that video out.
Y'all make sure y'all check that video out. I'm sure it's very good. I haven't checked that one out myself, but I will check it out. So make sure you check that out. Go ahead.
And just because I brought my children into the struggle didn't mean that they were going to be traumatized and have a hard life. I told you, my son, he graduated from high school. I didn't graduate. Of course, I went back and got my GED in 2011. I was supposed to graduate it in 95. I went back and got my GED in 2011, and my life turned out all right. You know? And I'm just saying, the reason why we're struggling is because of the things that we're doing, the decisions that we're making. And it goes the same for the people that's winning, that's living in paradise. You know, some people right not too far from where you live at that's living a really good life. Everybody ain't struggling and down bad.
That's right. It's your mindset. And another thing, what I believe is, if you live long enough and you become a certain age, you should really take inventory of your life and all that you have learned from whoever and wherever, and ask yourself this question. For example, when one thought comes up that you learned from way back, who knows when, ask yourself, is this thought or this narrative, is this beneficial for me now? Is it helping me? Is it hindering me? And you should take this inventory, and if you can answer no to some of your own, lot of your own questions, then you need to learn to purge the bad thoughts from your brain, from your subconscious mind. That can be done with some positive affirmations, but it has to be done while you're sleeping to really be effective. Because when you're awake, the conscious mind takes over. The conscious mind keeps you from being anything you want to be. It'll tell you you're not big enough, you're not smart enough, you're not technical enough, you're not whatever enough. Just fill in the blank, put one in. So, you have to work on yourself. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. That is insane. You can only get different results when you do different things. Go ahead, brother.
And it's because either they came from a history, a family that where they inherited an easier life because of the lifestyle of their family, or they just decided to do something totally different. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a product of your environment.
You don't have to be a product of your environment. Unfortunately, this happens to us. I don't want to say every time, but most of the time. Go ahead.
And sometimes it take a long time to figure that out, man. That's why it's so hard for me sometimes to figure things out. Because I'm too set in my ways of how things supposed to be, as opposed to doing things the way I want it to be.
As we all are. That's the point. That's how we were raised. You don't know to be anything different unless you're somehow pushed in another direction to try something different. But you have to be around different people to get different ideas, to get different results. If you hang around the same people always, guaranteed to fail. You can take a recovering heroin addict and put them anywhere in life where success is, and they can be more successful than they were. But if you put them back in the same environment where he came from, well, guess what they're going to be? They're going to go right back to doing whatever they were doing. Because as strong as he's or she is trying to be, that old atmosphere always calls and it always wins. Go ahead.
We gotta move a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? We gotta move in a way that we gotta look at what we want our life to be and make decisions and moves that will guide us to that place.
That's easier said than done. It's doable, it's attainable. But the problem is, we live in a push-button society. And this is not a push-button strategy that you need. There is no push-button strategy. You have to do the legwork. Go ahead.
We're all spiritual beings living in a body, living life through a body. We got to get right with God. You understand? We have to get right with the Creator. And once we do that, everything else falls in line. The reason why you're living in hell is because you created this hell. We definitely created it for ourselves. So the sooner we understand that we created the hell that we're living in, then the sooner we can begin on creating our paradise the same way, with the same energy, with the same decisions, the same thoughts. You just have to do things differently and reverse all the negative things that we have going on in our life and look at a beautiful life of paradise.
That's it. He just spelled it out again, like I said before. You have to learn to access control over your subconscious mind. I'm going to say it one more time. Positive affirmations playing while you sleep is the way to do it. Because at night when you sleep, your brain goes through cycles. Beta is the cycle that we're always in when we work and when we do things during the day. Then it goes down to alpha, then to theta, and then to delta. Once you get to delta, the conscious mind is out of the way then. All day long, it stands in the way of the subconscious. And the conscious mind is what tells us, you can't do that. You're not good enough. Yeah, don't forget it. Forget it. That part of our mind is out of the way once we start getting into a deeper sleep. And if you have positive affirmations, or something positive that you want to go into your head, something new, and get the old out, then letting it play while you sleep is the way to go. There is no other way. If you do it during the day while the mind is at beta frequency, forget it. Beta's going to block it all day long. Go ahead.
And we can do that. God gave us free will to create any type of life that we want to create. It's all on us. It ain't about where our parents come from, what their life was like. They have to live with the decisions that they made. But when we came into the world with free will. And now that we're grown, we can make decisions on our own, and we can create our paradise. So I want everybody that's watching this video, if you understand exactly what I'm saying, drop some love in the comments section. Let's talk about this. And if you got something out of this message, if it really resonated with you and you are looking to create a new path for yourself, good luck and God bless you. You know what I'm saying? And stay focused out here, because you're going to need it. You're going to need discipline. And I'll see y'all on the next video, man. You know it's your guy Libs, always trying to uplift someone in this world. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll see you on the next video.
Thank you, brother. And that was your guy Libs. Deep individual, deep thinking individual. I left it out there for him. I would like to maybe collaborate with him in the future. Let's give him his time to answer on that. If he does, it's gonna be something good too. I'd like to thank your guy Libs. Make sure you go and check his channel out. Let's talk about it. And as for me, I'm going to cut it off right here. Tell me, what did you think about your guy Libs? Is he a deep individual thinker? Is he a great storyteller? Is he an interesting human being? Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. And did you get some value out of his message? Or did you get any value out of my message? Because we both told you what the problem is. And it's up to you to get it. The value was there. Were you open-minded enough to receive it? Is the question. Wisdom is the way. And I gotta say, your guy Libs, he's also a wise one. He's one of ours. Yeah, we have nothing but wise ones over here. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here now. Make sure you leave your comments. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe also. And go check Libs out at Let's Talk About It. Come on back and check me out at Said the Wise One. I'm Said. And we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. So until the next time, remember this. A smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of the smart man. Think about that. Take that with you. And until the next time, this is Said the Wise One, saying this: peace, love, and happiness, as Al Green used to say. Take that wisdom with you, and may it bring you a little bit further. God bless you. Take care. Till the next video. Peace out. Said the Wise One, signing off.